As I sit here, watching the waves gently lap against the shore, I'm reminded of one of the most epic tales from ancient Greece, the Voyage of Jason and the Argonauts. Most of us know the story from high school history books or mythological retellings. Brave heroes, mythical creatures, and daring quests. But what if I told you there's a quieter side to this legend? Imagine yourself aboard the Argo, Jason's trusty ship, as you drift across the endless seas. The crew is tired, but the ocean's serenity is a balm to their weary souls. The sun beats down, and the sea breeze carries the scent of salt and seaweed. It's a peaceful scene, one that invites you to slow down and breathe in the beauty of the moment. That's what we're going to explore in this series, the long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts. We'll leave the drama and excitement behind, and instead, focus on the quiet, meditative moments that make this myth so timeless. Whether you're a fan of slow storytelling, mythology, or just need a good nap, this journey is for you. As we set sail, you'll notice that our pace will be gentle, our storytelling unhurried. We'll take the time to appreciate the little things, the way the sunlight dances on the waves, the songs of the seabirds, or the stories of the crew as they share tales of their past. It's a journey where nothing is urgent, and every wave is a lullaby. So, join me as we embark on this epic adventure, one that will take us across the ancient world, through myth and legend, and into the hearts of the Argonauts themselves. Let's set sail and let the sea be our guide. Value proposition. This series is not just a retelling of a myth. It's an invitation to slow down, breathe deeply, and connect with the natural world. In a world that's increasingly fast-paced and stressful, we need moments like these to remind us of the beauty and serenity that's always available to us. What to expect? Over the next few hours, we'll explore the journey of Jason and the Argonauts in a way that's both informative and relaxing. We'll delve into the mythological background, the characters that make up the crew, and the challenges they face on their epic quest. Along the way, we'll share stories, anecdotes, and insights that will help you appreciate the complexity and depth of this legendary tale. So, sit back, get comfortable, and let the soothing sounds of the sea carry you away. We're about to embark on a journey that will take us to the very heart of mythology and into the depths of our own imaginations. Section 2. The calm before the storm. As we set sail on the journey of Jason and the Argonauts, we find ourselves drifting through the endless expanse of the Aegean Sea. The wind is gentle, the sun is warm, and the sky is a brilliant blue. It's a day much like any other, with the crew of the Argo busy with their daily tasks. Jason, ever the leader, stands at the helm, scanning the horizon for any sign of land or change. But for now, nothing seems to stir. The sea is calm, the waves barely disturbing the surface of the water. The crew is quiet, each lost in their own thoughts as they go about their work. It's a peaceful scene, one that invites us to relax and breathe deeply. Take a deep breath with me, and let's settle in for a long, slow journey. As we navigate the still waters, let's talk about the importance of patience. In our fast-paced world, we're often encouraged to rush, to hurry, and to get things done quickly. But what if I told you that slowing down is one of the most powerful tools you can use to achieve your goals? When we take the time to relax, to breathe, and to let things unfold at their own pace, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and insights. Jason and his crew are about to embark on a journey that will test their patience and resolve. They'll face challenges, obstacles, and setbacks, but it's in these moments that they'll discover the true meaning of perseverance. And it's not just about the destination. It's about the journey itself, the people we meet along the way, and the lessons we learn. As we continue on our journey, let's explore the concept of mindfulness. In a world that's constantly demanding our attention, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle. But what if we could train ourselves to be more present, more aware, and more focused? Mindfulness is the practice of being fully engaged in the current moment, without judgment or distraction. And it's a skill that can be developed with practice and patience. Jason's crew is about to encounter a series of challenges that will require them to be mindful and present. They'll have to navigate treacherous waters, avoid deadly creatures, and make difficult decisions under pressure. But it's in these moments that they'll discover the strength and resilience that lies within themselves. As we sail on, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the sea. The waves are like a never-ending melody, a soothing rhythm that can calm the mind and soothe the soul. The sun is setting over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the water. It's a moment of pure magic, one that invites us to pause, reflect, and appreciate the simple things in life. And so we continue on our journey, drifting through the calm waters of the Aegean Sea. The crew is quiet, the sun is setting, and the sea is peaceful. It's a moment of perfect stillness, one that invites us to let go of our worries and concerns. Take a deep breath with me, and let's settle in for a long, slow journey. As we navigate the still waters, let's talk about the importance of self-care. In a world that's constantly demanding our attention, it's easy to forget to take care of ourselves. But what if I told you that self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity? When we take the time to relax, to recharge, and to refocus, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and insights. Jason's crew is about to embark on a journey that will require them to be physically and mentally strong. They'll have to navigate treacherous waters, avoid deadly creatures, and make difficult decisions under pressure. But it's in these moments that they'll discover the strength and resilience that lies within themselves. As we continue on our journey, let's explore the concept of gratitude. In a world that's constantly demanding our attention, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle. But what if we could train ourselves to be more grateful, more present, and more aware? Gratitude is the practice of appreciating the good things in our lives, no matter how small they may seem. Jason's crew is about to encounter a series of challenges that will require them to be grateful and present. They'll have to navigate treacherous waters, avoid deadly creatures, and make difficult decisions under pressure. But it's in these moments that they'll discover the strength and resilience that lies within themselves. As we sail on, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the sea. The waves are like a never-ending melody, a soothing rhythm that can calm the mind and soothe the soul. The sun is setting over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the water. It's a moment of pure magic, one that invites us to pause, reflect, and appreciate the simple things in life. And so we continue on our journey, drifting through the calm waters of the Aegean Sea. The crew is quiet, the sun is setting, and the sea is peaceful. It's a moment of perfect stillness, one that invites us to let go of our worries and concerns. Take a deep breath with me, and let's settle in for a long, slow journey. Section 2 ends here, but the journey of Jason and the Argonauts continues. Stay tuned for the next section, where we'll explore the challenges and obstacles that lie ahead. But for now, let's take a moment to relax, to breathe deeply, and to appreciate the beauty of the sea. Section 3. The calm before the storm. As we set sail with Jason and the Argonauts, the endless expanse of the Aegean Sea stretches out before us. The sun beats down upon our skin, warming the wooden hull of the Argo. The crew, weary from their journey, finds solace in the gentle rhythm of the waves. It's a moment of peace, one that we often overlook in our haste to reach the destination. In this section, we'll delve into the quiet moments that make up the bulk of Jason's journey. We'll explore the reasons why these calm periods are essential to the crew's well-being and how they can be applied to our own lives. So, let's take a deep breath and immerse ourselves in the soothing world of Jason and the Argonauts. The journey of Jason and the Argonauts is often romanticized as a grand adventure, filled with action and drama. However, the reality is far more nuanced. The crew faces countless days of monotony, where the only excitement comes from the occasional school of fish or a brief encounter with a friendly islander. It's these moments of calm that make up the majority of the journey. As we navigate the Argo through the Aegean, we find ourselves drawn into the world of the ancient Greeks. We see the crew's daily routines, their struggles, and their triumphs. We witness the way they work together, supporting one another through the tough times. It's a testament to the power of community and the importance of taking time to appreciate the little things. One of the most significant aspects of the Argonauts' journey is the concept of kairos. In ancient Greek philosophy, kairos refers to the opportune moment, the moment when everything comes together in perfect harmony. For the Argonauts, kairos is not just a moment of triumph but also a moment of rest. It's the realization that sometimes the most important thing is not to rush towards the destination but to appreciate the journey itself. As we continue on our own journey, we can learn from the Argonauts' example. We can learn to appreciate the simple things, to take time to rest and recharge. We can learn to recognize the moments of kairos, when everything comes together in perfect harmony. By doing so, we can find a sense of peace and contentment that eludes us in our fast-paced, always connected world. In the next section, we'll explore the concept of liminal space and how it applies to the Argonauts' journey. We'll delve into the idea of being in a state of transition, where the old and the new blend together. It's a fascinating topic that will help us understand the crew's experiences and how we can apply it to our own lives. For now, let's take a moment to appreciate the calm before the storm. Let's breathe in the salty air, feel the warmth of the sun on our skin, and listen to the soothing sound of the waves. It's a moment of peace that we can carry with us, no matter where our journey takes us. As we continue on our own journey, remember that the calm before the storm is not just a moment of rest but also a moment of growth. It's a chance to reflect on our experiences, to learn from our mistakes, and to prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. By embracing the calm, we can find a sense of inner peace that will stay with us long after the storm has passed. In the next section, we'll explore the concept of liminal space and how it applies to the Argonauts' journey. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the calm before the storm. Section 4. Overcoming the challenges of the open sea. As Jason and his crew continue their long voyage, they soon realize that the open sea can be a daunting and unforgiving place. The endless blue horizon stretches out before them, with no land in sight, and the Argo's sails billow in the gentle breeze. But beneath the surface, the crew is struggling to keep their spirits up. The monotony of the sea can be crushing. Day after day, they sail through the same blue waters, with no respite from the sun's relentless heat. The men are tired, hungry, and demoralized, and Jason knows that he needs to find a way to keep them motivated. He calls a meeting with his senior officers to discuss their strategy and find a way to lift the crew's spirits. One of the crew members, a grizzled old sailor named Typhus, speaks up. "Jason, we've been at sea for months now," he says. "We're starting to feel like we're going nowhere." Jason nods in agreement, knowing that the crew's morale is at an all-time low. "We need to find a way to keep our spirits up," he says. "We can't afford to let the sea get the best of us." Jason knows that the key to overcoming the challenges of the open sea is to focus on the present moment. He encourages the crew to take time to appreciate the beauty of their surroundings, the seabirds flying overhead, the schools of fish swimming in the waters below, the sun shining down on the waves. By focusing on the present, they can find a sense of peace and contentment that helps them to stay motivated. But it's not just about finding peace. It's also about finding a sense of purpose. Jason knows that the crew needs to feel like they're making progress, like they're getting closer to their goal. So he sets a new target for the crew to sail a certain number of miles each day, to reach a specific landmark by a certain date. By setting achievable goals, the crew can feel a sense of accomplishment and motivation that helps them to push through the tough times. As the Argo sails on, Jason and his crew begin to feel a sense of rhythm and routine. They learn to appreciate the simple things in life, the taste of fresh water, the feel of the sun on their skin, the sound of the waves crashing against the ship's hull. And they begin to realize that the journey itself is the destination, that the act of sailing, of exploring, of discovering new lands and meeting new people is what truly makes life worth living. The crew's morale begins to lift, and they start to feel like themselves again. They're no longer just tired, hungry, and demoralized sailors. They're a team of adventurers, explorers, and pioneers, united by a shared sense of purpose and a love of the sea. And as they sail on into the unknown, they know that they're capable of overcoming any challenge that comes their way. In the next section, we'll explore the importance of rest and recovery on long voyages. We'll look at the ways in which Jason and his crew use their downtime to recharge and refocus, and we'll see how this helps them to stay motivated and engaged throughout their journey. Section 5. The long haul across the Aegean. As the sun rises over the vast expanse of the Aegean Sea, Jason stands at the helm of the Argo, gazing out at the endless blue waters before him. His crew stirs around him, some yawning, others stretching their tired limbs. They've been at sea for what feels like an eternity, with no end in sight. The days blend together in a haze of sun, sea, and boredom. The crew's morale is low, and Jason knows he needs to find a way to lift their spirits. He calls a meeting to discuss their options. Some suggest searching for a nearby island to rest and resupply, while others propose continuing on to their destination, no matter the cost. Jason knows that their journey is far from over, and that they must stay focused if they hope to succeed. As the crew debates their next move, Jason takes a moment to reflect on the journey so far. They've faced numerous challenges, from treacherous seas to hostile encounters with other ships. But despite these setbacks, they've persevered, driven by their determination to complete their quest. Jason knows that this journey is not just about reaching their destination, but about the experiences they'll have along the way, the friendships they'll forge, the lessons they'll learn, and the memories they'll create. One of the crew members, a young man named Typhus, approaches Jason with a concerned look on his face. "Jason, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up," he says, his voice laced with fatigue. "We've been at sea for weeks, and I'm starting to feel like I'm losing my grip on reality." Jason puts a reassuring hand on Typhus' shoulder. "I know it's tough, my friend," he says, "but we're not just sailing across the sea. We're on a journey of discovery. We're learning about ourselves, about each other, and about the world around us. And that's something to be proud of." As the crew continues to debate their next move, Jason takes a moment to appreciate the beauty of their surroundings. The sun is setting over the water, casting a warm golden light over the waves. A school of dolphins plays in the distance, their clicks and whistles echoing through the air. It's moments like these that remind Jason of the importance of taking time to appreciate the journey, rather than just focusing on the destination. The crew eventually decides to continue on their journey, driven by their determination to complete their quest. As they set sail once again, Jason can't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. They've faced countless challenges, and yet they've persevered, driven by their unwavering dedication to their mission. And as they disappear over the horizon, Jason knows that they're not just sailing across the sea. They're on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. As the Argo sails on, the crew is treated to a breathtaking sight, a stunning island rising up from the depths of the sea. The island is teeming with life, from the towering palm trees to the colorful coral reefs that stretch out beneath the waves. Jason knows that this is an opportunity for them to rest and resupply, to recharge their batteries and refocus their minds. And as they drop anchor in the island's tranquil waters, Jason can't help but feel a sense of gratitude for this moment of peace and tranquility. In the next section, we'll explore the island's secrets and the lessons that Jason and his crew learn from their time there. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this journey and the lessons that it's teaching us about perseverance, determination, and the importance of taking time to appreciate the journey. Section 6. Setting sail for the Forgotten Isles. As the sun rises over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the endless expanse of the Aegean Sea, Jason and his crew stir from their slumber. The Argo, their trusty vessel, rocks gently in the waves, its wooden hull creaking softly in the morning breeze. The crew, weary from the previous day's journey, begins to stir, their faces etched with the lines of fatigue and the weight of their quest. The air is filled with the sweet scent of salt water and the cries of seagulls wheeling overhead, their cries a distant echo of the excitement and anticipation that once drove Jason and his crew to set sail on this fateful journey. Now, as they drift through the calm waters, the thrill of the unknown has given way to a sense of resignation, a feeling that they are merely going through the motions, searching for a mythical golden fleece that seems further and further away with each passing day. As they sail, the crew's thoughts turn to the comforts of home, to the loved ones they left behind, and to the promise of rest and relaxation that lies ahead. They dream of the warm sands of the Forgotten Isles, where they can drop anchor and let the gentle lapping of the waves against the hull lull them into a deep and peaceful sleep. But for now, they must press on, driven by the need to complete their quest and return home with the Golden Fleece. And so, they set a course for the island of Lemnos, a place of myth and legend, where the women are said to be as beautiful as they are deadly. As they sail, Jason's thoughts turn to the stories of old, to the tales of his ancestors who sailed these same waters, searching for the same elusive prize. He remembers the words of the oracle, who spoke of the Golden Fleece as a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a way forward. And so, with a sense of determination and resolve, Jason and his crew press on, their journey a slow and winding path through the calm waters of the Aegean, a journey that will take them to the Forgotten Isles and beyond. As we continue on this journey with Jason and his crew, we'll explore the stories of old and the myths that have shaped the world we live in today. We'll delve into the world of ancient Greece, where the gods and goddesses walked among mortals, and the heroes of old fought for glory and honor. We'll explore the themes of perseverance and determination, of the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most daunting challenges. And we'll examine the ways in which the stories of old continue to shape our world, influencing our culture, our art, and our very way of life. So join me on this journey as we sail through the calm waters of the Aegean and explore the world of Jason and the Argonauts. Let us see where the journey takes us and what secrets we may uncover along the way. In the next section, we'll delve into the world of the Lemnians and explore the stories of the women who inhabit this mystical island. We'll examine the ways in which they live and the challenges they face, and we'll see how Jason and his crew fit into this world and what role they play in the ancient Greek mythology. But for now, let us simply drift on the calm waters of the Aegean and let the gentle lapping of the waves against the hull lull us into a peaceful slumber. Section 7. The Unseen Heroes of the Argonauts. As the Argo sailed further into the endless blue, the crew's fatigue became more apparent. They had been at sea for what felt like an eternity, and their spirits were beginning to flag. Jason, ever the determined leader, knew that their quest for the Golden Fleece couldn't afford to be hindered by the crew's exhaustion. So he made a crucial decision that would change the course of their journey. Jason called a meeting with his most trusted advisors, including Hercules, Orpheus, and Typhus, the skilled navigator. They gathered on the deck, surrounded by the soothing sounds of the waves and the warm breeze rustling their hair. The atmosphere was calm and focused, with a sense of purpose that only came from being on a shared mission. "I know we've all been feeling the strain of our journey," Jason began, his voice calm and reassuring. "But we can't let fatigue get the better of us. We need to find a way to rest and recharge without sacrificing our momentum." Hercules spoke up, his deep voice rumbling across the deck. "Jason's right, friends. We can't afford to lose our edge." "What do you propose, Jason?" Jason smiled, his eyes shining with determination. "I think we should take turns resting and watching the sails. That way, we can all get some much-needed sleep without compromising our navigation." The crew nodded in agreement, and Jason's plan was set in motion. They took turns dozing off one by one, while the others kept watch, scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. It was a clever solution, one that would allow them to catch up on much-needed rest without putting their journey at risk. As the days blended together, the crew's fatigue began to ease, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose and determination. They knew that their quest was far from over, and that the challenges ahead would only continue to grow. But with Jason's leadership and their own collective strength, they felt ready to face whatever lay in store. The Argo sailed on, its crew a testament to the power of teamwork and perseverance. They had faced countless setbacks and challenges, but they had always found a way to overcome them. And as they drifted into the calm, peaceful waters of the Aegean, they knew that they were one step closer to achieving their goal. Their journey was far from over, but for now, they could bask in the quiet satisfaction of knowing that they had found a way to balance rest and responsibility. It was a delicate balance, one that required constant attention and adjustment. But with Jason at the helm, they knew they could navigate even the most turbulent of waters. As we continue on this slow and soothing journey with Jason and the Argonauts, we'll explore the many challenges that lie ahead. We'll delve into the world of ancient Greece, where myth and reality blurred, and the heroes of old roamed free. And we'll discover the timeless lessons that their stories hold for us today. So join me on this tranquil voyage as we sail the calm waters of the Aegean and discover the secrets that lie within the heart of the Argonauts. Section 8. The Forgotten Voyage. As the days blend together, the crew of the Argo settles into a rhythm that's both hypnotic and monotonous. The endless expanse of sea stretches out before them, a seemingly endless canvas of blue and gray hues. The waves roll in, their gentle lapping against the hull a soothing melody that seems to lull the very sea itself into a state of tranquility. It's as if the world has slowed down, and with it, the crew's very perception of time. Jason stands at the helm, his eyes squinting against the bright sun as he scans the horizon for any sign of land or change. But there's nothing, just the endless blue. The wind whispers secrets in his ear, but it's a gentle breeze, devoid of any urgency or warning. The crew moves with a practiced ease, their movements almost ritualistic in their repetition. Each day blends into the last, a never-ending cycle of sail, anchor, and sleep. It's on one of these forgotten days that the crew encounters a fellow sailor, a grizzled old man who's been at sea for years. He's a storyteller, a keeper of tales and myths that he shares around campfires and on lonely voyages. His name is Nestor, and he's a man who's seen it all, from the birth of stars to the death of gods. He regales the crew with stories of the ancient world, of heroes and monsters, of love and loss. As Nestor speaks, the crew's eyes glaze over, their minds wandering to the fantastical worlds he describes. Jason listens intently, his imagination running wild with the possibilities. He sees himself as a hero, a leader of men, a conqueror of impossible odds. The Argo becomes a symbol of his own journey, a metaphor for the long, winding path that leads to greatness. But Nestor's stories are not just about heroes and monsters. They're also about the human condition. He speaks of love and loss, of the fragility of life and the inevitability of death. He talks of the gods, of their whims and fancies, of their love of chaos and destruction. The crew listens, entranced, as Nestor weaves a tapestry of myth and legend that's both beautiful and terrifying. As the sun sets on another day, the crew gathers around the fire, their faces aglow with the soft light of the flames. Nestor's stories have captivated them, transported them to a world of wonder and awe. They laugh and cry, their emotions raw and exposed. Jason looks around at his crew, his heart full of pride and affection. They're not just sailors. They're a family, bound together by their shared experiences and their love of the sea. As the night wears on, the crew settles into a state of quiet contemplation. They're not just thinking about Nestor's stories. They're also thinking about their own lives, their own struggles and triumphs. They're thinking about the journey ahead, about the challenges and obstacles that lie in wait. But for now, in this moment, they're at peace, their spirits soothed by the gentle lapping of the waves against the hull. In this forgotten voyage, the crew of the Argo has found something more precious than treasure or glory. They found a sense of community, a sense of belonging. They're not just sailors. They're a family, bound together by their love of the sea and their love of each other. As the night wears on, they'll sleep soundly, their dreams infused with the magic of Nestor's stories and the endless blue of the sea. Section 9. The Calm of the Aegean. As the Argo sailed deeper into the Aegean, the crew's fatigue began to show. The endless blue horizon stretched out before them, a seemingly endless expanse of water that seemed to swallow all sense of time. The days blended together in a haze of sun, sea, and monotony. For Jason and his crew, the only constant was the gentle rocking of the ship as it rode the waves. It was on one of these calm days, as the crew was taking a well-deserved break, that the myth of the sirens began to take shape. According to legend, the sirens were three beautiful maidens who sang with voices so sweet and enchanting that they lured sailors to their deaths on the rocky shores of their island home. But for Jason and his crew, the sirens' song was just a distant memory, a mythic echo that seemed to fade into the background as the sun beat down on the water. Yet, even as the crew was lulled into a state of relaxation, the Argo's crew encountered a small island, a tiny speck of land that rose up out of the sea like a mirage. The island was home to a group of friendly locals, who welcomed Jason and his crew with open arms. The locals shared their food, their stories, and their knowledge of the sea with the weary sailors, and for a brief moment, the crew forgot about their quest and simply enjoyed the peace and tranquility of the island. As the days turned into weeks, the crew of the Argo grew to appreciate the simple joys of island life. They learned to fish for their food, to gather fruit and berries from the island's lush forests, and to live off the land with a sense of freedom and abandon. For Jason and his crew, the island became a symbol of the freedom and peace they had been seeking all along. And as they set sail once again, they carried the memory of the island with them, a reminder of the beauty and simplicity that lay just beyond the horizon. In many ways, the crew of the Argo's experience on the island was a microcosm of their entire journey. They had set out with a clear goal in mind, but along the way, they had encountered countless obstacles, challenges, and setbacks. And yet, despite it all, they had persevered, using their skills, their knowledge, and their determination to overcome every hurdle. As they sailed into the unknown, Jason and his crew knew that they would face many more challenges. but they also knew that they had the strength and the resilience to overcome them. As the Argo sailed deeper into the Aegean, the crew's fatigue began to show, but their spirits remained high. They knew that they were on a mission to retrieve the Golden Fleece, and they were determined to see it through to the end. And so, they pressed on, their hearts filled with hope and their minds focused on the prize that lay ahead. The sea stretched out before them like an endless blue canvas, a reminder of the infinite possibilities that lay just beyond the horizon. And as the Argo sailed on, Jason and his crew knew that they were part of something much bigger than themselves, something that would take them to the very limits of human endurance and beyond. Section 10. The Forgotten Island of Lemnos. As we continue on the long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts, the crew of the Argo finds itself drifting towards the shores of Lemnos, a forgotten island in the Aegean Sea. The winds are gentle, the sun is warm, and the sea is calm, inviting the crew to rest and refresh themselves on the island's lush green shores. Lemnos, with its rich history and mythological significance, is a place where time stands still. The island's story begins with the daughters of King Thoas, who were so enchanted by the beauty of the sea that they forgot to honor the goddess Aphrodite, their patron deity. As punishment, Aphrodite cursed the women, turning them into heartless, savage creatures, devoid of love and compassion. For Jason and his crew, the island of Lemnos presents an opportunity to escape the monotony of their long journey and indulge in the simple pleasures of life. They anchor the Argo in a secluded cove, and the men spend their days exploring the island's hidden coves and secret waterfalls, while the women of the island, now restored to their human form, offer them hospitality and warmth. One of the most striking aspects of Lemnos is its unique culture, shaped by the island's history and its connection to the sea. The women of Lemnos, for example, are renowned for their exceptional weaving skills, and the island is said to be home to some of the finest textiles in the ancient world. Jason and his crew are amazed by the beauty and intricacy of the island's woven fabrics, and they marvel at the skill and artistry of the island's women. As we continue to explore the island of Lemnos, we begin to appreciate the subtle beauty of this forgotten place. The island's peaceful atmosphere, its lush green landscapes, and its rich cultural heritage all contribute to a sense of tranquility and contentment that is hard to find on the high seas. The slow pace of life on Lemnos, where time is measured by the rhythms of nature, is a balm to the soul and a reminder of the simple joys that await us in the stillness of the natural world. For Jason and his crew, the island of Lemnos is a welcome respite from the dangers and challenges of their long journey. It is a place where they can rest, recharge, and refocus, preparing themselves for the trials and tribulations that lie ahead. As we continue to follow their journey, we are reminded that even in the midst of uncertainty and danger, there is always room for beauty, wonder, and peace. In the stillness of the island of Lemnos, we find a sense of calm and contentment that is hard to find on the high seas. It is a reminder that even in the most challenging of circumstances, there is always the possibility for peace, beauty, and tranquility. As we continue on our own journey, may we remember the lessons of Lemnos, and may we strive to find the peace and contentment that lies within us, just as Jason and his crew did on this forgotten island in the Aegean Sea. Section 11. A Glimpse of the Golden Fleece. As the days blend together in a haze of endless blue, Jason and his crew begin to lose track of time. The Argo glides across the waters, driven by a gentle breeze that never seems to die down. It's as if the gods themselves are conspiring to make their journey as tranquil as possible. The sun beats down upon their weary faces, warming their skin to a golden glow. The sea spray carries the sweet scent of blooming lotus flowers, and the salty air fills their lungs with a soothing calm. It's a peaceful scene, one that could lull even the most restless soul into a deep and dreamless sleep. But Jason's thoughts are elsewhere. His mind is fixed on the golden fleece, the prize that has driven him to undertake this perilous voyage. He recalls the words of the oracle, who foretold of his destiny and the great challenge that lay ahead. The fleece is guarded by a fearsome dragon, the oracle had warned. You must be brave and cunning if you hope to succeed. Jason's crew, too, is beginning to feel the weight of their journey. They've been at sea for what feels like an eternity, and the monotony is starting to take its toll. Some of them have begun to whisper among themselves, wondering if they'll ever reach their destination. Others have grown despondent, their spirits crushed by the endless blue that seems to stretch out before them like an endless desert. Despite these doubts and fears, Jason remains resolute. He knows that he's not just fighting for himself, but for his crew and his kingdom. He's driven by a fierce determination, a sense of purpose that burns within him like a fire. As the sun begins to set, casting a warm orange glow over the water, Jason calls his crew together. They gather around him, their faces weary but their eyes still bright with hope. He tells them of his vision, of the golden fleece and the glory that awaits them if they can just persevere. We're not just sailing across the sea, he says, his voice filled with conviction. We're on a quest for greatness. We're chasing a dream, and we won't let anything stand in our way. His crew listens, their faces set with determination. They know that they've been on this journey for a long time, but they also know that they're not alone. They have each other, and they have Jason, their fearless leader. Together, they face the challenge ahead, their hearts filled with a sense of purpose and their spirits lifted by Jason's words. They know that the journey won't be easy, but they're ready for whatever comes next. And so, with the stars beginning to twinkle in the night sky, the Argo continues on its slow and winding path. The crew sails into the darkness, their hearts filled with hope and their spirits lifted by the promise of a new day. The sea stretches out before them, a vast and mysterious expanse that holds secrets and surprises in equal measure. But Jason and his crew are ready for whatever lies ahead, their hearts filled with a sense of wonder and their spirits lifted by the promise of adventure. As the night wears on, the Argo sails deeper into the unknown, its crew lost in the vast and endless blue. But they're not alone. They have each other, and they have Jason, their fearless leader who guides them through the darkness with a steady hand. And so, we'll continue on our journey, following the Argo as it sails across the sea. We'll explore the twists and turns of Jason's quest, and we'll discover the secrets that lie hidden beneath the surface. We'll meet the people and creatures that inhabit this ancient world, and we'll learn from their stories and their struggles. We'll journey through the night, guided by the stars and the light of the moon. We'll sail into the dawn, when the world is fresh and new, and the possibilities seem endless. And we'll discover the wonders that lie hidden in the heart of the sea. Join me next time as we continue the journey of Jason and the Argonauts. Until then, sleep tight, and may the calm waters of the sea guide you into the realm of dreams. Section 12. The Quiet Days at the Island of Lemnos. As Jason and the Argonauts continued their journey, they found themselves drifting through the endless waters of the Aegean Sea. The days blended together in a haze of calmness, with nary a storm to break the monotony. The crew grew accustomed to the gentle rocking of the Argo, and the soft lapping of the waves against the hull became a soothing serenade. One of the most memorable stops on their journey was the island of Lemnos, a place of breathtaking beauty and serene tranquility. The island was said to be the home of the Lemnian women, who were renowned for their exceptional weaving skills and their love of music. Jason and his crew were warmly welcomed by the islanders, who treated them to a feast of delicious food and drink. As they sat down to eat, Jason couldn't help but notice the way the light danced across the faces of the Lemnian women. Their smiles seemed to light up the entire island, and their laughter was like music to his ears. He felt a deep sense of peace wash over him, and for a moment, he forgot about the trials and tribulations of their quest. The Lemnian women, it seemed, were not just skilled weavers and musicians, but also master storytellers. They regaled Jason and his crew with tales of their island's history, of the gods and goddesses who had once walked among them, and of the myths that had been passed down through generations. The stories were like a gentle balm to Jason's soul, soothing his worries and calming his fears. As the days passed, Jason and the Argonauts grew to appreciate the quiet beauty of Lemnos. They spent their days exploring the island's hidden coves and secret beaches, and their nights listening to the Lemnian women's enchanting tales. It was a time of great relaxation and rejuvenation, and Jason felt his spirit renewed and his heart refreshed. But even as they basked in the island's tranquility, Jason knew that their journey was far from over. They still had to navigate the treacherous waters of the Black Sea and face the challenges that lay ahead. Yet, for now, he was content to simply be, to let the gentle rhythms of Lemnos wash over him, and to let the peace of the island seep into his very being. As the sun began to set on Lemnos, Jason and the Argonauts settled in for a well-deserved rest. They had earned it, after all, and they knew that they would need all their strength and courage for the trials that lay ahead. But for now, they could simply be, and let the quiet beauty of the island envelop them. The power of quiet moments. In a world that is increasingly fast-paced and frenetic, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. We often find ourselves rushing from one task to the next, without taking the time to truly appreciate the present moment. But Jason and the Argonauts knew that sometimes the most powerful moments are the quiet ones. When we take the time to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to simply be, we can tap into a deep well of inner peace and calm. We can let go of our worries and fears and simply be present in the moment. And it's in these quiet moments that we can find the strength and courage to face the challenges that lie ahead. So, take a cue from Jason and the Argonauts and make time for quiet moments in your own life. Take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and simply be. Let the peacefulness of the moment wash over you, and let your spirit renew and refresh itself. You never know when you might need it. Section 13. The Calm of the Aegean. As we continue our slow and soothing journey with Jason and the Argonauts, we find ourselves drifting through the crystal-clear waters of the Aegean Sea. The Argo, Jason's trusty ship, glides effortlessly across the calm surface, leaving behind a trail of gentle ripples. The crew, tired but determined, stands watch, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of land or danger. But today there is no danger. No storms, no monsters, no epic battles. Just the peaceful sound of the waves lapping against the hull and the warm sun on their faces. It's days like these that remind us of the beauty of the journey, not just the destination. As Jason takes a moment to gaze out at the endless blue, he can't help but feel a sense of wonder at the vast expanse of the sea. The crew, too, is in a state of calm. They've been at sea for what feels like an eternity, and the monotony of it all has taken its toll. Some of them sleep, curled up on deck or wrapped in their blankets, while others sit quietly, lost in thought. The only sound is the occasional creak of the ship's wooden frame and the soft lapping of the waves. As we sail through this serene landscape, we find ourselves drawn into the world of the Argonauts. We see the crew's daily routines, their simple pleasures, and their quiet moments of connection. We see the way they work together, relying on each other to navigate the challenges of life at sea. And we see the way they find solace in the peaceful moments, the moments that make the journey worthwhile. One of the crew members, a young man named Orpheus, sits on deck, strumming a gentle melody on his lyre. The music is hauntingly beautiful, and it seems to capture the very essence of the moment. As we listen, we're transported to a world of tranquility, a world where time stands still and all that exists is the present moment. This is the power of storytelling, my friends. This is the power of slowing down and savoring the beauty of the world around us. When we take the time to appreciate the small things, the quiet moments, and the peaceful landscapes, we find that life becomes more meaningful, more rich, and more rewarding. So let's take a deep breath, shall we? Let's slow down our minds and let the gentle rhythms of the sea wash over us. Let's let go of our worries and our anxieties and simply be present in this moment. As we drift through the Aegean, let's remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. Let's cherish the quiet moments, the peaceful moments, and the moments of beauty that make life worth living. And as we continue on our journey with Jason and the Argonauts, let's remember that we're not just sailing through the seas, we're sailing through our own minds. We're navigating the depths of our own consciousness, and we're discovering new depths, new insights, and new perspectives. We're finding ourselves, and we're becoming the best versions of ourselves. In the next section, we'll continue our journey with Jason and the Argonauts as they reach the shores of the mythical land of Lemnos. But for now, let's simply be present in this moment and let the peacefulness of the Aegean wash over us. Section 14 of 20. The long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts. As the sun rises over the calm waters of the Aegean Sea, our weary crew stirs from their slumber. The gentle lapping of the waves against the hull of the Argo is the only sound that breaks the silence. It's been weeks since we set sail from Iolcos, and the monotony of the journey is starting to take its toll on our tired crew. The days blend together in a blur of endless drifting seas and peaceful stops at forgotten islands. We've seen the majestic peaks of the Caucasus Mountains in the distance, and even caught glimpses of the mythical garden of the Hesperides. But for now, the only thing on our minds is the next meal, the next stretch of calm waters, and the next moment of rest. As we sail deeper into the unknown, the myths of old begin to take on a new significance. We're no longer just a group of men on a quest for the Golden Fleece. We're a band of adventurers, bound together by our shared experiences and our quest for meaning. And as we drift through the calm waters of the sea, we begin to realize that the journey itself is the destination. One of the things that I find most fascinating about the Voyage of Jason and the Argonauts is the way in which it challenges our modern notions of heroism and adventure. We often think of heroes as bold, daring, and fearless, but the Argonauts are none of those things. They're a group of ordinary men doing an extraordinary thing. And as we sail alongside them, we begin to see the world in a new light. The Argonauts' journey is not just a physical one, it's also a spiritual and emotional one. They're on a quest for meaning, for purpose, and for connection with something greater than themselves. And as we join them on their journey, we begin to realize that we're all on a similar quest. We're all searching for something more, something that will give our lives meaning and direction. As we navigate the calm waters of the Aegean, we begin to see the world in a new way. We see the beauty of the sea, the majesty of the mountains, and the serenity of the islands. We see the interconnectedness of all things and the way in which our individual journeys are linked to the journeys of those around us. And as we sail deeper into the unknown, we begin to realize that the journey itself is the destination. The Golden Fleece may be the ultimate goal, but it's the journey that makes the destination worth striving for. It's the people we meet, the experiences we have, and the lessons we learn along the way that truly make life worth living. As we near the end of our journey, I want to leave you with a few thoughts to ponder. What is the journey that you're on right now? What is the destination that you're striving for? And what are the lessons that you're learning along the way? Take a moment to reflect on these questions and let the calm waters of the sea wash over you. As we continue on our journey, I invite you to join me on the next leg of the voyage. In the next section, we'll explore the challenges that the Argonauts faced as they sailed through the treacherous waters of the Black Sea. But for now, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy the peaceful rhythm of the sea. The journey may be long, but it's worth it. Section 15. The long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts, the cruise endurance. As we continue to sail with Jason and the Argonauts, let's take a moment to appreciate the crew's unwavering endurance. These brave men have been at sea for what feels like an eternity, facing endless days of calm seas and uneventful days. They've seen their fair share of storms, of course, but it's the quiet periods that test their resolve the most. Imagine being at sea for weeks on end, with nothing but the sound of the waves and the creaking of the ship's wooden hull to keep you company. The days blend together, and the monotony starts to take its toll. Jason's men are no exception. They've grown tired, their muscles aching from the constant motion, their spirits worn down by the endless horizon. But Jason knows that his crew's strength lies not in their physical prowess, but in their mental resilience. He's a leader who understands the importance of rest and relaxation. When they stop at a peaceful island, he encourages his men to take a break, to recharge and refocus. They may not be able to rest for long, but every little bit helps. As we explore the Argo's journey, let's take a closer look at the crew's daily routine. How do they manage to stay motivated and focused? What kind of routines do they establish to keep themselves engaged? And what can we learn from their example about the importance of downtime in our own lives? One of the most critical aspects of the crew's endurance is their ability to adapt to changing circumstances. They've had to adjust to different weather conditions, new challenges, and unexpected setbacks. But through it all, they've remained flexible, willing to pivot and adjust their plans as needed. This is a valuable lesson for us all. In today's fast-paced world, we're often forced to think on our feet, to be quick and agile in response to changing circumstances. But Jason's men remind us that flexibility is not just about being reactive. It's also about being proactive. By establishing routines and practices that help them stay centered and focused, they're able to navigate even the most turbulent of waters. As we continue to sail with Jason and the Argonauts, let's take a moment to appreciate the quiet moments, the peaceful pauses that make the journey so much more bearable. These are the moments that remind us of the beauty and simplicity of life, the moments that help us appreciate the journey, not just the destination. In the next section, we'll explore the Argo's journey through the mythological realm of the sirens. We'll delve into the legend of these enchanting creatures and how they've captured the hearts of sailors for centuries. But for now, let's simply sit back, relax, and enjoy the peaceful calm of the sea. As we drift off into the distance, let's remember the importance of endurance, flexibility, and rest. Jason's men remind us that even in the quiet moments, there's beauty to be found, and that sometimes it's the stillness that gives us the strength to carry on. The long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts, section 16. As the sun rises over the endless expanse of the Aegean Sea, Jason stands at the helm of the Argo, his weathered eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of land. The crew stirs around him, their movements slow and deliberate as they begin another day of sailing. The air is heavy with the scent of salt and seaweed, and the gentle lapping of the waves against the hull creates a soothing rhythm that seems to lull the very sea itself into a peaceful slumber. It's been weeks since they set out on their quest, and the monotony of their journey is starting to take its toll. The crew's morale is low, and even Jason's usual optimism is beginning to flag. But he knows that they can't give up now. They're getting close to their destination, and the promise of the Golden Fleece is still within their grasp. As the day wears on, the crew settles into a routine of maintenance and repair work. They scrub the decks, check the sails, and perform the endless tasks that keep the Argo seaworthy. It's hard, grueling work, but it's necessary if they're going to make it to the end of their journey. Despite the drudgery of their tasks, the crew can't help but feel a sense of wonder as they gaze out at the endless blue horizon. They're not just sailing across the sea, they're sailing through time itself, leaving behind the familiar landscapes of their homeland and venturing into the unknown. As the sun begins to set, the crew gathers on deck to watch the stars twinkling to life above. They share stories and jokes, their laughter carrying across the water as they try to lift each other's spirits. It's moments like these that remind Jason why he's so drawn to the sea. It's not just a means of transportation, but a source of inspiration, a reminder of the beauty and wonder that lies just beyond the horizon. As the night wears on, the crew settles into their bunks, their bodies weary from the day's work. Jason stands watch, his eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of danger. But as he looks out at the sea, he can't shake the feeling that they're not alone. There's a presence out there, a presence that's watching them, waiting for them to make their next move. It's a feeling that's hard to explain, but it's one that Jason's grown accustomed to over the years. He's learned to trust his instincts, to listen to the whispers of the wind and the calls of the sea. And as he stands watch, he knows that he's not just protecting his crew, he's protecting himself too. In the stillness of the night, Jason feels a sense of peace wash over him. It's a feeling that's hard to find in the midst of their journey, but it's one that he's come to cherish. He knows that they're not just sailing across the sea. They're sailing through life itself, and that's a journey that's full of ups and downs, twists and turns. As the night wears on, Jason's thoughts turn to the myth of the Golden Fleece. It's a story that's been passed down for generations, a story of adventure and bravery, of danger and triumph. But it's also a story of the human condition, a story of the struggles and triumphs that we all face on our own journeys through life. As Jason stands watch, he knows that he's not just sailing to the end of his journey. He's sailing to the end of himself. He's sailing to a place of self-discovery, of growth and transformation. And as he looks out at the sea, he knows that he's not alone. He's part of a larger story, a story that's been unfolding for centuries. The long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts is a journey that's full of twists and turns, of ups and downs. But it's also a journey that's full of beauty and wonder, a journey that's full of moments of peace and tranquility. As Jason stands watch, he knows that he's not just sailing through the sea, he's sailing through life itself. And that's a journey that's full of surprises. And as the night wears on, Jason's thoughts turn to the crew, to the friends he's made along the way. They're a ragtag group, to say the least, a bunch of misfits and outcasts who've come together to form a makeshift family. But as he looks at them, he knows that they're more than just a crew. They're a community, a group of people who've come together to support and uplift each other. As the sun begins to rise, Jason knows that it's time to start the day. He calls out to the crew, and they stir from their bunks, their movements slow and deliberate. They begin to prepare for another day of sailing, another day of navigating the choppy waters of the Aegean Sea. But as they set to work, Jason can't shake the feeling that they're not just sailing to the end of their journey. They're sailing to a new beginning, a beginning that's full of promise and possibility, a beginning that's full of moments of peace and tranquility. And as he looks out at the sea, he knows that he's not alone. He's part of a larger story, a story that's been unfolding for centuries. The long, slow voyage of Jason and the Argonauts is a journey that's full of surprises, a journey that's full of twists and turns. But it's also a journey that's full of beauty and wonder, a journey that's full of moments of peace and tranquility. And as Jason stands watch, he knows that he's not just sailing through the sea, he's sailing through life itself. And that's a journey that's full of surprises. Section 17. Calm waters and peaceful nights. As we continue on our journey with Jason and the Argonauts, the endless seas stretch out before us like an unbroken canvas of blue. The Argo glides effortlessly through the water, its sails billowing gently in the breeze. The crew, weary from days of sailing, finds solace in the calm waters and peaceful nights. Imagine yourself standing on the deck of the Argo, feeling the warm sun on your skin as the salty sea air fills your lungs. The sound of the waves gently lapping against the hull creates a soothing melody that seems to lull the world into a peaceful slumber. This is what life is like for Jason and his crew as they traverse the Mediterranean. One of the most striking aspects of the Argonauts' journey is the way they take time to appreciate the beauty of their surroundings. They don't rush from one destination to the next, but instead, they slow down and soak in the tranquility of the ocean. They find solace in the peacefulness of the islands they visit, and they take the time to rest and recharge. As we navigate the calm waters of Jason's journey, it's worth considering the importance of taking time for ourselves. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. We often find ourselves rushing from one task to the next, without taking the time to appreciate the beauty around us. But what if we could take a page from Jason's book and slow down? Imagine waking up each morning with the intention of taking a deep breath and savoring the moment. Imagine taking a few minutes each day to appreciate the beauty of nature, whether it's the sun rising over the horizon or the stars twinkling in the night sky. By doing so, we can cultivate a sense of calm and peace that stays with us throughout the day. As we continue on our journey with Jason and the Argonauts, we'll explore more of the peaceful islands they visit, and we'll delve deeper into the lessons they learn along the way. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the calm waters and peaceful nights that make their journey so special. The Argo glides silently through the water, its crew lost in thought as they watch the sun set over the horizon. The sea is calm, the air is peaceful, and the world seems to be at rest. It's a moment of perfect tranquility, one that we can all learn from. As we settle in for the night, let's take a deep breath and let the peacefulness of Jason's journey wash over us. Let's allow ourselves to relax and unwind, to let go of our worries and concerns. And as we drift off to sleep, let's remember the importance of taking time for ourselves, of slowing down and appreciating the beauty around us. In the next section, we'll explore more of the Argonauts' journey, and we'll delve deeper into the lessons they learn along the way. But for now, let's simply enjoy the calm waters and peaceful nights that make their journey so special. Section 18. Sailing through the Aegean. As the sun rises over the calm waters of the Aegean, Jason steers the Argo through the gentle morning mist. The crew stretches their weary limbs, still recovering from the previous night's campfire tales. The sea is peaceful, the breeze light, and the sky a brilliant blue, a perfect day for sailing. But the journey is far from over. The quest for the Golden Fleece has been a long and arduous one, spanning months and covering thousands of nautical miles. The crew has faced countless challenges, from raging storms to treacherous sea monsters. And yet, they press on, driven by their unwavering dedication to Jason's mission. As we join the crew on their voyage, we find ourselves immersed in the tranquil world of ancient Greek mythology. The stresses of modern life seem to melt away as we drift along with the Argo, carried by the soothing rhythm of the waves. We're not here to rush through the story or dramatize the hero's journey. We're here to slow down, breathe deep, and let the myth unfold at its own pace. One of the most fascinating aspects of Jason's quest is the way it highlights the importance of patience and perseverance. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, the crew's slow and deliberate approach to their journey serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest rewards come from taking the time to appreciate the journey itself. As we continue our voyage, we'll explore the various islands and ports that the Aegean. We'll visit the legendary city of Iolcos, where Jason's father, King Ezin, was forced to flee for his life. We'll walk the sun-kissed beaches of Lemnos, where the Amazons first caught wind of Jason's quest. And we'll sail through the treacherous waters of the Bosphorus, where the Argo narrowly escaped the clutches of the sea monster, Scylla. Throughout our journey, we'll delve into the rich history and mythology surrounding Jason and the Argonauts. From the tragic tale of Jason's father to the enigmatic figure of Heracles, we'll explore the complex web of characters and events that shaped the legendary quest. As we navigate the winding waters of the Aegean, we'll encounter a cast of characters that will both fascinate and frustrate us. There's Jason himself, the charismatic leader who seems to be driven by an insatiable desire for glory. There's Hercules, the demigod who will stop at nothing to prove his worth. And there's the enigmatic Medea, the sorceress who will play a pivotal role in Jason's quest for the Golden Fleece. As we sail through the calm waters of the Aegean, we'll discover that even the most epic of quests can be reduced to its simplest elements. It's a story about a group of people, united by a shared goal, who face incredible challenges and overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's a tale of perseverance, of friendship, and of the power of the human spirit. In the next section, we'll set sail for the island of Lemnos, where the Amazons first laid eyes on Jason and his crew. But for now, let's simply sail on, carried by the gentle waves of the Aegean, as we continue our journey through the tranquil world of Jason and the Argonauts. Section 19. The Island of Lemnos. As we continue our slow and peaceful journey with Jason and the Argonauts, we find ourselves drifting towards the shores of the enchanting island of Lemnos. This forgotten gem, hidden in the Aegean Sea, has a rich history that's waiting to be unraveled. The island's tranquil atmosphere and stunning landscapes will transport you to a world of serenity, where the cares of the world seem to melt away. The island's name, Lemnos, is derived from the Greek word lemon, meaning meadow or plain. It's a fitting name, considering the island's lush vegetation and rolling hills. According to myth, Lemnos was once the home of the Lemnian women, who were known for their exceptional beauty and kindness. The island's strategic location made it an attractive stop for travelers, merchants, and sailors, including Jason and his crew. As we explore the island, we find ourselves wandering through the winding streets of its capital city, Marina. The city's architecture is a testament to the island's rich history, with its ancient buildings and ruins telling stories of a bygone era. We see the remnants of the city's once great temple, dedicated to the goddess Aphrodite, and the impressive walls that protected the city from invaders. The island's natural beauty is a sight to behold, with its crystal-clear waters, white sandy beaches, and lush forests. We take a leisurely stroll along the beach, feeling the warm sun on our skin and the gentle ocean breeze in our hair. The sound of the waves gently lapping against the shore creates a soothing melody that seems to lull the island itself into a peaceful slumber. As we continue our journey, we come across the story of the Lemnian women, who were known for their exceptional beauty and kindness. According to myth, the women of Lemnos were so beautiful that they attracted the attention of the god Hephaestus, who fell deeply in love with them. However, the women's beauty and kindness were not enough to save them from the wrath of the gods, and they were eventually punished for their actions. The story of the Lemnian women serves as a reminder of the power of beauty and kindness, and the consequences that can arise from them. It's a lesson that's just as relevant today as it was in ancient times, and one that we can learn from as we navigate our own lives. As we leave the island of Lemnos behind, we're left with a sense of peace and tranquility that's hard to find in today's fast-paced world. The island's serene atmosphere and stunning landscapes have transported us to a world of serenity, where the cares of the world seem to melt away. We're reminded that even in the most turbulent of times, there's always room for beauty, kindness, and peace. As we continue our journey with Jason and the Argonauts, we'll encounter more islands, more seas, and more stories. But for now, let's take a moment to breathe in the peaceful atmosphere of the island of Lemnos and let its beauty and tranquility wash over us. Section 20. The Endless Drifting Seas. As the Argo sailed further out to sea, the crew grew accustomed to the rhythm of the waves. The gentle rocking motion of the ship lulled them into a state of tranquility, and the endless blue horizon stretched out before them like an endless canvas of possibility. The days blended together in a haze of sun-kissed warmth and the salty scent of the sea. The crew would often gather on the deck, watching the seagulls soar overhead as they shared stories of their past lives. Jason would sit among them, listening intently as they spoke of their families, their homes, and the loves they had left behind. The silence between the waves became a soothing melody, a lullaby that cradled the crew in its gentle rhythm. They began to feel a sense of freedom, a sense of release from the burdens of their past. The Argo became a symbol of their journey, a reminder that they were no longer bound by the constraints of their former lives. As the sun began to set, the crew would gather around the ship's rail, watching the stars twinkle to life in the darkening sky. They would talk of the myths they had heard, of the gods and goddesses who watched over them from the heavens. Jason would smile, remembering the stories of his childhood, of the heroes who had come before him. One evening, as the crew settled in for the night, Jason stood at the ship's rail, gazing out at the endless sea. He felt a sense of peace, a sense of contentment that he had never known before. The crew, too, seemed to sense it, their faces relaxed, their eyes closed as they drifted off to sleep. The Argo sailed on, a tiny speck on the vast expanse of the ocean. But for Jason and his crew, it was a world of its own, a world of endless possibility, where the only horizon was the one that stretched out before them, and the only limit was the one they placed upon themselves. As the night wore on, the stars shone brightly above, a celestial map guiding the Argo through the darkness. The crew slept soundly, their dreams filled with visions of the gods and goddesses they had heard of in the myths. And Jason, standing watch at the ship's rail, felt a sense of connection to the universe, a sense of belonging to something greater than himself. The Argo sailed on, a small but significant part of the vast tapestry of human history, and Jason, at the helm, felt a sense of purpose, a sense of direction that he had never known before. The journey was long, but it was not without its rewards. For in the endless drifting seas, Jason and his crew had found a sense of peace, a sense of belonging to something greater than themselves. As the night wore on, the stars shone brightly above, a celestial map guiding the Argo through the darkness. The crew slept soundly, their dreams filled with visions of the gods and goddesses they had heard of in the myths. And Jason, standing watch at the ship's rail, felt a sense of connection to the universe, a sense of belonging to something greater than himself. The Argo sailed on, a small but significant part of the vast tapestry of human history, and Jason, at the helm, felt a sense of purpose, a sense of direction that he had never known before. The journey was long, but it was not without its rewards. For in the endless drifting seas, Jason and his crew had found a sense of peace, a sense of belonging to something greater than themselves. As the sun began to rise, casting a golden glow over the sea, Jason felt a sense of renewal, a sense of rebirth. The crew, too, seemed to sense it, their faces refreshed, their eyes bright as they emerged from their slumber. The Argo sailed on, a tiny speck on the vast expanse of the ocean. But for Jason and his crew, it was a world of its own, a world of endless possibility, where the only horizon was the one that stretched out before them, and the only limit was the one they placed upon themselves. And so, The journey continued, a slow and peaceful voyage through the endless drifting seas. The Argo sailed on, a small but significant part of the vast tapestry of human history, and Jason, at the helm, felt a sense of purpose, a sense of direction that he had never known before.